Location, Moon 17 Zeta, known to locals as Whispers Hard. Classification, Red Zone Forbidden World. Threat level, Omega++. Advised protocol, do not approach. Do not scan. Do not speak its name. To the galaxy at large, Moon 17 Zeta was a cursed sphere. Its surface temperatures could flay nanosteel. The magnetic crust twisted gravity like liquid. And its wind carried voices, recordings from long-dead species, echoing out of nothingness. Ships that flew too low came back broken. Some didn't come back at all. The Council declared it off-limits. The elder species agreed. But Earth? Earth didn't get the memo. The Vothar broadcast, human signals detected on Whispers Hard. Counselor Rajor of the Vothar Dominion replayed the sensor data for the 5th time. He enlarged the telemetry, confirmed the origin, and still couldn't believe it. They're shouting joyfully? Through vacuum? While sliding down tectonic glass. His assistant trembled. They brought boards, snowboards, on a death moon. They named it, Rajor whispered. They're calling it murder powder. Meanwhile, on the surface of Whispers Hard, now murder powder. Jake buzzsaw Kincaid dropped in hard. His board hit the magnetic ice, sent up a plume of superheated vapor, and he grinned like a lunatic inside his impact suit. Oh my god, this is sick. The wind howled, technically not wind, but ion screech and geothermal updraft mixed with crust-bound radio signals from dead civilizations. He held up a GoPro. Flashed a thumbs up to the thousands watching back on Earth. Whisper what? This is murder powder, baby. Let's shred. Behind him, 3 other humans bombed the slope. One rode backward. Another was singing Queen through a helmet mic. The 4th? She was doing flips while dodging geysers of molten xenon. 2 hours earlier, the madness begins. It started like most disasters Earth launches, as a joke. A deep space adventure channel called Void Brothers International announced a new challenge. Shred the unshreddable. Ride the galaxy's most dangerous terrain, or die trying. Jake and his crew, sponsored by half a dozen energy drink companies and at least one illegal VR network, chose Whispers Hard. Because as Jake said, if it kills people just for looking at it, it's probably rideable. They landed under stealth, jumped without clearance, and live-streamed it all. Galactic reactions, screams, lawsuits, and existential dread. In the Xanthari legal cluster, 12 injunctions were filed in under 10 minutes. The Church of Celestial Risk excommunicated humanity retroactively. The Draziel Research Network ran the footage through its AI emotional filters. Result, horror. Sub-emotion detected, envy. The Draziel president blinked. Wait, are we jealous of them? Cut back to the slope. Death gets a front row seat. A rift opened under Jake's line. Molten light spewed into the sky. He grinned. Hell yeah, nature's half-pipe. He rode the edge of the explosion, surfed the shockwave like a cosmic tidal wave, and launched into orbit for 0.8 seconds. The G-forces almost blacked him out. But he landed. The suit took 92% damage. Jake's voice? Bro, this is gonna go viral. Council Emergency Summit? How do you fight that? 12 species convened in panic. The Zerali tried diplomacy. Perhaps we offer the humans peace treaties, trade incentives, ways to redirect their athletic destruction? The Brocken General, Commander Vesk, disagreed. You don't redirect a black hole. You evacuate everything around it. Then a new alert hit the chamber. Update. More humans have landed on Whispers Hard. Now deploying sleds, skis, rocket-boosted hover kites, and freestyle lava-jumping rigs. The room went silent. Then screaming resumed. Meanwhile on Murder Powder, the festival begins. It wasn't just Jake anymore. The word got out. Within 48 hours, over 500 humans had landed illegally. They called it the Murder Powder X Games. Death can't catch us. Tents went up. Music blared. A human DJ dropped beats using lava vent shockwaves to remix audio. One human roasted marshmallows over a plasma fissure while filming a vlog. Here's how to make a s'more on a cursed moon, Void Fam. Alien viewers threw up. Literally. The death moon doesn't kill the humans. It cheers. Data from the planet's surface, collected by accident through sensor echoes, revealed something impossible. The planet was reacting. The terrain adjusted under the rider's feet. Every time a human pulled a stunt, the moon rippled in approval. The gravitational anomalies began synchronizing with their moves, creating jumps, drops, and runs more insane than even the Void Brothers could imagine. It was like the moon was saying, finally, someone came to play. Back at the council, someone finally snaps. Counselor Ecker of the Merkai banged the desk. We locked this moon for a reason. Its surface emits psychogenic trauma signatures. It's supposed to drive people insane. A human memeologist piped in remotely via pirate feed. Yeah, so we made a game of it. We call it screenboarding. Your own mind tries to kill you while you shred. It's rad. Counselor Ecker fainted. Meanwhile, humanity announces a new sport. They called it Dead Moon Descent. Rules: drop from orbit with no engines. Land on a live quake shelf. Survive for 5 minutes. Don't die of terror hallucinations. Prize: a limited edition helmet forged from Whisper's hard crystal. An eternal bragging rights. Alien races began worshipping the survivors as gods. Or devils. Sometimes both. Murder powder, formerly Whisper's hard. Day 4 of the games. At 0600 standard, the sky cracked open. A line of Terran drop pods screamed down from orbit in tight formation, each one decorated in glow paint, neon glyphs, or cursed memes. One pod rotated mid-fall, revealing the hand-painted slogan, "Eat rock, get famous." Then the pods hit the mountain slopes like a meteor shower, deploying retrobursts inches before impact, and exploded into clouds of snow, flame, and pure human laughter. From orbit, the event was catalogued as a Class 8 impact catastrophe. On the surface, they called it a perfect landing. Alien Science Corps, Observation Post 11, orbit. Dr. Vrala of the Zelhark Scientific Corps had seen many things in her 312 years. She had witnessed suns implode, watched plankton develop sentience, survived a gravity hurricane. But nothing had prepared her for humans snowboarding on a sentient, weaponized planetary anomaly. Her tentacles trembled as she replayed the most recent footage. They are throwing themselves off tectonic ridges while juggling drones? Her assistant, a squid-like intern from Thrall, whimpered, "Doctor. One of them just launched a grill into an active ice fissure and cooked meat over it." Vrala turned. This isn't science anymore. This is performance art weaponized by madness. The attempted alien response, species try to copy. The Drovax Collective, obsessed with reclaiming their reputation for courage, launched an official mission, Operation Glory Jump. Their elite team, clad in reinforced exosuits, descended onto Murder Powder's southern ridges. Their leader, high climber Vrosk, took his first step, slipped on ion ice, bounced off a thermal geyser, and was flung 300 meters straight into a crystal chasm, where his onboard suit logs simply recorded, "Vrosk has achieved transcendence through regret." Of the 5 Drovax that attempted the ride, none finished. One wrote poetry for 6 hours while weeping. Another joined the human spectators out of admiration and confusion. The humans built a lift system out of broken alien probes. By day 5, the Terran athletes had scavenged 2 crashed recon drones and turned them into a functioning ski lift. The base camp now included 2 ramen food trucks, a rave pit with molten lava-proof dance flooring, and a neon sign reading, "Welcome to Murder Powder. Death is just a suggestion." When a Varnak warcruiser hovered into low orbit, demanding humans vacate, Jake Kincaid replied via hacked frequency, "Hey man, come down and write a line before you judge. We got spares." The Varnak retreated. But the moon wasn't just letting them ride. It was changing. Sensors across Murder Powder began shifting. Gravity zones pulsed in rhythm with music from the rave pit. Lava vents danced like choreographed fountains during stunt events. The magnetic storms? They pulsed in colors matching Terran flag patterns. Dr. Vrala was the first to say it aloud. The moon isn't hostile anymore. It's enjoying this. Then her AI reported an impossible reading. Sentience signature detected. Location, planetary crust. Translation achieved, the moon speaks. In the middle of this screaming chasm railjam event, a series of seismic pulses formed structured waveforms. Jake's helmet AI picked it up first. It translated to, "We see you. You dance on our bones. We approve." The human screamed. Not in fear. In celebration. Within an hour, someone created a t-shirt with the phrase, "Approved by the moon itself." Council panic escalates. When the council received the seismic transmission logs, 37 empires called emergency meetings. The moon was alive. It was observing. And it liked the humans. Worse, it had never responded to any other species. The chair of the Galactic Assembly declared, "This is not diplomacy. This is psychological warfare by adrenaline." The humans had done what no weapon, no army, no fleet had ever achieved. They had made a cursed moon laugh. Humanity pushes the line further, and the moon responds. By day 8 the sport had evolved. Now they weren't just riding slopes. They were base jumping off pressure plateaus, racing through unstable tectonic tunnels, dueling with plasma flares using magnetized hoverboards. Jake called it gravity jousting. And the crowd? Aliens began joining. At first to watch. Then, one Vothari asked for a board. The first alien rider fell fast, but got up laughing. I cannot feel 3 of my limbs. This is glorious. Moon status update, fully awakened. The seismic data formed new patterns. Symbols, echoes, laughter. The wind itself changed, now mimicking audio from the streams. The AI systems of various research ships confirmed what was impossible. The moon was sentient, but dormant, until humans arrived and played. Their recklessness had triggered ancient joy. This wasn't just a cursed world. It was a forgotten mind longing for chaos, humor, absurdity, and humans were the perfect match. Earth sends an official message to the Galactic Council. Through an intentionally low-res transmission, a Terran diplomat appeared in a snow jacket, sipping from a thermos. To our esteemed fellow species, we did not invade. We didn't mine, terraform, or weaponize. We shredded. We partied. We cooked hot dogs. And apparently your death moon likes that. Then the video cut to Jake landing a triple spin front flip over a lava chasm. The caption read, "Let them ride." Day 9, Murder Powder, Whispers Hard, now has a leaderboard. Somehow, without permission or design, the moon created it. Not a hologram. Not a projection. A literal carving in crystal, 20 meters tall, pulsing with energy, bearing the names of the top riders. At the top, Jake Buzzsaw Kincaid, 327 Descent, Class, Red Line. Below him, a mix of humans and, shockingly, 2 alien names. One Vothari. One Draziel. The crowd gathered in awe. Jake looked up, helmet under his arm. Guess the moon's running the games now. New feature detected, memory lines. On day 10 the impossible happened. Human rider Rena Cruz took her first run of the day, and suddenly the terrain changed. Not randomly. Specifically. She found herself riding through a canyon made of sculpted buildings. Buildings from her childhood, long destroyed in a colony collapse. "This isn't possible," she whispered midair. Then a thermal updraft lifted her skyward and painted the clouds above with a spectral image. Her mother smiling. A memory she hadn't seen in decades. Rena landed and dropped to her knees. The moon had created her memory, to ride through. Science Core Declaration. The moon is not merely sentient, it is sympathetic. Dr. Vrala updated her findings with shaking hands. This isn't a cursed object. It's a mirror. A playful, dangerous mirror that learns, and adapts, and entertains. And now, it is emotionally bonding with the humans. Her assistant added nervously. I think it likes them. Aliens begin applying for permission to ride. The Galactic Council, now in total chaos, drafts a Whispers Hard activity policy. Among the clauses, only Class 4 species and above may apply to ride. Mandatory psychological evaluation required. All riders must agree that death, transformation, or memory exposure are possible side effects. Applications pour in anyway. Entire alien cultures begin live streaming reaction content of Terran stunts, hailing riders as void champions, or mad priests of momentum. Jake's new run, a revelation in the ice. Jake's 7th ride was supposed to be a throwaway. Instead, the moon shifted again, dramatically. As he dropped, the terrain warped into a vertical spiral of ice and heat, a death pipe. But halfway through, he slammed into something buried inside a wall. He got up groaning, and found himself staring into a window. Inside it, a human face, sleeping, encased in crystal. And behind it, more. Hundreds, thousands, frozen, preserved, peaceful. He whispered, "What the hell is this place?" Then the moon spoke again. This time through a low harmonic pulse that rattled his bones. "We keep what was loved. We remember what was nearly forgotten." Jake stumbled back. The faces weren't victims. They were volunteers. Dr. Vrala cross-references the DNA. The sleeping figures, discovered through drone relay, matched no living species. Except for a small anomaly. Mitochondrial traces of early Terran diaspora genes. "These people," she said in awe, "left Earth thousands of years ago. They never came back. They joined the moon." Then the signal changed again. New words pulsed from Murder Powder's crust. They were the first to ride. They became part of the track. They chose to stay. Back at the festival, the fear runs begin. The moon began offering choices. Every time a rider stepped up, a new slope shimmered ahead, one tailored to them. Fear, memory, regret, joy. Each run no longer challenged physics. It challenged the soul. And they still rode. Human, alien, hybrid. Species that once feared each other now took turns encouraging each other at the top of the drop. Because to ride the moon was to be seen. And the moon? It loved it. But not everyone likes what's emerging. Commander Vesk of the Brocken Empire had seen enough. He ordered a cleansing. This world manipulates, warps, corrupts. It is a threat to galactic stability. He deployed a Planet Buster-class torpedo. It never hit. Before it even entered atmosphere, the moon folded the gravity well and redirected the missile. Not back to the Brocken fleet. No, to itself. The missile detonated point blank on the surface. And the moon absorbed it. Didn't deflect. Didn't retaliate. Just ate the energy and reshaped the terrain into the perfect jump. Jake dubbed it the missile kickflip. The moon issues its final statement. On day 12, every rider, every drone, every ship orbiting Murder Powder received the same message, burned in gravity on the inner side of every helmet and hull. No language, just meaning. We are not weapon. We are not God. We were built by those who rode stars, not steered them. You remembered us. So we remember you. The moon wasn't cursed. It was a playground abandoned by its creators. Waiting. And the first species insane enough to bring back the joy? Was humanity. Murder Powder, Day 13. The riders stood at the edge of the summit. The sky above them was electric. Not with storms, with memory. The auroras now carried flickering images from thousands of past rides. Not just from the last week. From centuries ago. Faces of extinct species. Long-dead pioneers. People who once made the moon laugh, made it feel. The planet was no longer just terrain. It was alive. Remembering. Creating. And it had chosen one last run. Jake Buzzsaw Kincaid stood alone. His board was battered. His suit, patched, scorched, mended by alien fans. But his heart? Still stupid. Still loud. Still human. A new path opened before him. One no one else could see. A chasm of gravity so warped it looped into itself. Jumps that bent time. Rails of frozen memory from the first civilization to ever land here. And at the bottom? A choice. Meanwhile, in orbit, the final council directive. The Brocken had failed. The missile hadn't killed the moon. But some still feared what Murder Powder was becoming. A growing cult called it the Laughing World. Others feared it was a slow psychic infection. A single vote was cast. Activate Stellar Net Alpha. Seal the moon in an all-time bubble. Let no ship enter again. But they hesitated. Because they saw the feed. Millions were watching Earth's channel. Not for politics. Not for war. For the ride. The last descent, Jake drops in. Helmet camera rolling. No sponsors. No graphics. Just his voice. Alright, Murder Powder. Show me what you've got. He launched. The moment he did, the world shifted around him. The laws of physics bowed. He didn't ride through terrain anymore. He rode alongside memory. Each turn became a memory loop. His childhood crash on ice. The first time he watched a sunset from orbit. A face he hadn't seen in years. His brother lost in the Mars quake. The board held. The line sharpened. Then came the final ramp. A jump so tall, it pierced the moon's auroras. And in that instant he wasn't falling. He was flying through the mind of the moon itself. The offer. As he hovered in a moment between seconds, the voice of the moon returned, not as a sound but as knowing. You can stay. Live in memory. Be part of what made us whole. He saw what it meant. He'd become one with the terrain. Preserved. Echoed. A permanent part of the moon's dreamscape. He would never age. Never die. Never ride again. But, he smiled. Nah, not yet. I've got one more trick to teach. And he dropped like fire. The landing heard across the stars. He hit the final slope doing Mach 2. Magnetic snow erupted around him like a tidal wave. Gravitational harmonics sang. The moon itself howled in joy. Then it pulsed, once and reset the slope. Jake rolled to a stop. The moon said nothing. It didn't need to. It understood. Post-ride, Earth declares the moon a zone of wild culture. Back home, Earth issued a statement. Murder Powder is not ours. It is everyone's. But it will never be governed. Never owned. It will only accept those who understand why we ride. 10 years later, a child asks, "What is the death moon?" A teacher pulls up old footage. Shows Jake midair flying through impossible light. "It's not a death moon anymore," she says. "It's a place that remembers joy. Because humans remembered how to give it." Final scene, a new challenger arrives. A small alien craft touches down. The door opens. A young Draziel steps out. Nervous, board in hand. The terrain stirs. A single slope appears, shimmering. Waiting. The Draziel takes a deep breath. Then drops in. Far below, the moon rumbles. And laughs. Satellite. End of final section. Clapperboard from the Void Narratives. If you just rode murder powder through memory and madness. If this story made you grin, flinch, or fist pump at 2 a.m., then you are one of us. Milky Way subscribe to the Void Narratives. We don't just tell stories. We ride through legends, surf the impossible, and shred gravity. Satellite antenna new drops every week. Movie camera cinematic sci-fi for the chaos in your soul. Next up, a Terran chef lands on a war-torn planet and wins the war using soup.